welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing a week 5 garden update. So I can't wait to take you guys on this tour and show you everything that's growing. So if you are new here or if you are a recent subscriber, my name is Lacey. I live in Central Texas, Zone 9. And we just moved here to this property. This is going to be our second growing season. The first year we did in-bed gardens and they were not successful. So this year we've decided to take it in a whole nother direction and do raised gardens along with a pond and several new animals. So I hope to really take you on this journey of wannabe homesteading and a journey into financial and food security, and showing you guys exactly how we're doing it, and maybe you can take some inspiration from there. But for today, let's get started. I'm gonna take you outside. We are in between some storms. So in the spring here, it's usually pretty unpredictable weather. So hopefully we will get this garden tour done without a lot of rain and wind, but let's get started. So this is what it feels like when you come out the front door. I love that it opens up into our garden. We have plans to extend, but for now, this is what I feel like I can best handle. So I'm super excited, and this is perfect for my 2-person household. But it is a gloomy day. Ugh, very gray. Let's see. So here is my morning glory. Isn't it looking beautiful? It's growing up this mesquite tree. I'm kind of having to makeshift trellis it up there, but it's really looking beautiful. In this pot over here, I have a mum from the fall that came back after it dies back in the winter, and some sunflowers, and a couple of little zinnias popping up in there. I want this to be a really joyful, happy basket here. These are my cactus. I grew all of these. Basically, you take a cutting, so a paddle, and you just plant it in the ground, and it takes off into this. So this is this is about a year's worth of growth. Right here, we have, and it's doing really wonderfully, our dragon fruit. So I have replaced this trellis this week. You can see I have the modular trellis so that it can grow up with it. This can actually get quite tall, so I need it to be able to grow with it. The cannas are doing great. You can see here, they look beautiful in this pot. Uh-oh, this little snapdragon fell over. It's not looking too good. Probably not getting any water because it's falling over. Oh, I have a little nasturtium growing up through the grass here. That's gonna look really cute. I'm not sure what variety that is. That's an inch plant. I just planted that. I took a cutting and I was able to get that rooted out in some water. Here are the cannas over here. These darker ones, for some reason, aren't doing as great as the ones right next door in that pot, but that's okay. The coleus is looking beautiful. Oh my goodness, these cactus were so gorgeous. They had bloomed beautifully. I'll have to insert a picture of my husband took, and he really takes some pretty photos for me. Anyways, this is my little cactus garden. So I just have my little bird baths and my pots, and it's just a fun area. So that's one of my favorite places in the garden. Okay, so here's my gold medal rose, and we're getting lots of new growth, and we're gonna open again. I love the gold medal. It's super bright, and it has this coral edges. The Julia Childs is starting to look beautiful, and it looks like we're gonna have one blooming soon. It is really doing well. This one I was worried about earlier in a couple, maybe about 3 weeks ago. I wasn't quite sure. It didn't look like it was doing super great, but then it put out all this new foliage and blooms, so I'm excited. True Friendship is looking absolutely stunning. Look at how beautiful these are. Just beautiful. And I do keep a theme. I keep all yellow roses. Right here, this is a shockwave, and it's very yellow. These are actually old blooms, and they are not as yellow as when they're first bloomed, and they're very distinct. I have a little bit of nasturtium growing in the pots beneath. And this one has a steppable plant that I don't know what the name is. Over here in this first bed, this one gets the most sun. I did make a change. La-da! We planted something because, again, I've said in the previous videos that I want this to be like a picture frame in this particular area. So I want this to grow all the way up and over and be kind of the focal point when you come in. So this is a wisteria that we decided to place here. So I do, like I said, keep a theme, and that is color. So I have yellow and blue and orange and purple, and these are like a purple blue flower, which, I mean, they're absolutely gorgeous. This one is not quite there at the point of flowering, but it is beginning to take to the trellis. So this was planted almost a week ago. Yes, I'm a little late with my weekly update this week, but that's okay. These sunflowers in this first bed are doing absolutely amazing. I wanted something really bright and fun when you walk up to the garden as the first thing you see, and what is brighter and funner than sunflowers? So they're doing excellent, excellent, excellent. We have a peacock that kind of roams the area, and it has been walking around in here and knocking over my stalks and my my poor little, what are these? Oh my gosh, marigolds. My poor little marigolds are getting stomped, and my corn is getting stomped too. So we'll have to figure out how to deter him. This is a hot pepper that my husband picked out, and I have lost the tag. He knows the name of it, and I will try to insert it in the video if I can remember it. Anyways, that's a hot pepper. I needed a space for it, so it's just in this area. So this whole bed is pretty darn full, but that's okay. The sunflowers won't last forever, and we wanted something to attract our pollinators, so that's what the marigolds are for. Over here, I have this pot that sits here on the edge. We have zinnias, and they're really doing well. Then we also have nasturtium along the edges, and those are going to kind of spill over and be really beautiful. In this bed, this is my pepper and eggplants. So these are Hansel eggplants. These are 5 weeks old, and they're looking really, really great. Again, these are green sweet bell peppers, and this is where the peacock is knocking everything over. So we got to figure out what to do about that rascally guy. He's really making a mess, isn't he? We planted some marigolds this week, like I said, in every bed. Oh, and then I did want to show you, we are actually getting some fruit. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. There's some fruit actually setting on there, so super exciting. Over here, I had this is my gypsy peppers, and I did actually have a pepper that was on. It had been growing for a little while, and it had something eat a little hole inside of it, so maybe a worm or something. The dill plant is just getting beautiful and big and super tasty. We've tried it a couple times. I don't have any use for it currently. It was actually planted for the caterpillars to eat up instead of the rest of my things, but it seems like the caterpillars aren't psyched. Here's a couple of extra sunflowers, and these are my asparagus beans, and they're not doing as good as the beans in the pot, and I'm just so confused by it. But that's okay. These are my echinacea. They are starting to really get some height on them, so I'm super excited. This is a plant that I bought this week, and I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to put it exactly. I have several spots, so it has a home. I just haven't decided. I'm a little indecisive on where to put it. This is a Japanese honeysuckle, and it's going to get several, I think it gets to like 9 feet in length. Now, I've seen them get really, really big, but they smell amazing. They have these really beautiful yellow and white blooms. In here are my mystery beans, and they're doing amazing. They're getting ready to begin to trellis. You can see some tendrils kind of growing. And I added a little marigold again for the pollinators. And in this pot next door is our garlic chives, and they still need a haircut. I didn't haircut them this week. Okay, and so here are those other asparagus beans. So these beans are going to trellis up this half, and then these beans on this side are going to trellis up this way. And they'll meet in the middle and make a beautiful arched focal point, and I'm super excited. They get really long, they get really beautiful. Here are onions doing amazing. Super, super beautiful and healthy. In this bed we have, this is kind of like my salsa garden almost here. So I have my onions and my peppers and my tomatoes. And they're doing really, really great. And check it out. A baby tomato. Some baby tomatoes back here as well. And here. So we have, I think, at least 7 that are actually setted fruit. And then it looks like we'll have some more in the next couple of days as well. Over here, so I added in some orange peels. That's what all this is. And I was using the orange to kind of deter some of the bugs that have been plaguing my beautiful salsa peppers. I've already taken a small harvest, a beginnings harvest of the salsa garden tomatoes. And they are amazing. I put them in an omelet this morning and we were so happy. They are perfectly spicy, but not too spicy. And they don't have that metallic taste like the jalapeno, which is so popular, you know. And oh, I can hear the rain. It's starting to come. Okay, we're going back inside, guys. Well, it was still sprinkling just a little bit, but I think we can get this done. The bottom seriously dropped out hard. Okay, so here is my beautiful like red basil. It's so gorgeous, absolutely stunning. I planted a couple marigolds this week again. This is that Mexican pepper, and it's doing really great. I have a couple of buds on there and they're looking really healthy. This again is not doing super great. I think that is my scorpion pepper. But all the basil is doing really great. So back here is another Genovese. And then this is a cinnamon and African blue. And back there is a Thai basil, and it's starting to look good. Over here in these pots, check it out. My little petunias. Aren't they so cute? And I just plugged those in there because they had fallen off and they just took to this pot. This right here is my orange mint. Right here is my orange mint and this beautiful African blue basil that I went ahead and let go to flower to be attractive to the pollinators. It's absolutely stunning and beautiful. Agastache. I think that's hyssop, Agastache hyssop. Okay, I went ahead and pulled out my other 2 little squash plants to give these guys some more room, and they are doing great in this bucket. Right here, also doing great. You can see several blooms coming. These are zucchini. On this side, I have my Clemson spineless okra growing in amongst these different types of basil. So this is spicy globe, and it's looking great, and it smells great, and it is spicy. Like, it has a good spice. It's very pizza sauce. Like, that's what it gives. Right here is the lettuce leaf basil, and it's doing great as well. These are Texas red onions, doing great in that pot. Over here are our red okra, and I have several looking good, several looking not so good. I'm going to fertilize and see if that helps. Over here is our chocolate bell pepper, and I have some fruit settings, super exciting. I planted, again, a couple of marigolds for the pollinators. This is my holy basil, beginning to look really nice as well. Over here, you can see we're getting some pest damage, but the radish crop is coming along. I had some begin to go to seed. I pulled that one because there's no need. And our coneflower and a couple of different types of rosemary. This is a barbecue variety, has woody stems, and this is like a standard upright kind of variety of rosemary. Very beautiful, very fragrant. Over here in this bed, cucumbers looking fabulous. Check them out. So, so cute. Some silver slicers, if I'm not mistaken. And I planted, again, some marigolds here in this little empty spot, but they will look really nice and add some pretty color in the meantime, as well as adding the pollinator effect, you know. So we have zucchini here again. Look at how beautiful these plants are. Just gorgeous. They're actually doing really nicely. And I have a couple of little blossoms with some fruit beginning to set on the yellow squash as well. So, so happy. Now, this one, I'm not sure why it's not doing as good as the others, so it probably just got a little stunted. I might pull it. I'm not sure. We'll see. I kind of like to leave things, and then when I have to pull them, but usually, like, if I leave them, they're fine. The stevia is back there getting some height and some beautiful color, and then our mints, of course, beginning to do the thing that mint do, taking over, becoming a bully in the garden. So we again added some marigolds in here. The agastache just doing like beautifully, and I couldn't be happier with it. To me, it's one of my favorite things to add into a garden. They just add so much color, and they bloom just so long. Right here's another type of agastache as well, and these are my extras. So the couple of extra aromas, I need to go through and do a little pruning on these, but this one needs to get a little bit of height. This is an extra gypsy pepper, again waiting on some height before I go and clean up the bottom leaves. Right here are some zinnias and some coneflower beginning to really get some good size to them. And right here are our last two Hansel eggplants, and they're doing really, really well. So this is the raised bed garden. Oh, and that's a little pot with the cucumbers. We're doing the same thing as we did over with the asparagus beans. So I have a pot on this side and then a plant on that side. So I have plants on that side and a pot on this side, but they'll go across to the trellis together and look really beautiful. Let's check out my stash. I'm keeping all of these this year. That way I can start my fall garden. I do have a plan for this section of my house. I'm going to build a small greenhouse, like a workstation, and I'm really excited about that because I think it's going to look beautiful. My petunia baskets are doing gorgeous on both sides. Try not to get wet under this eave. This coleus, this is called Mosaic. Oh my God. Is this not the most beautiful, absolutely stunning, bushy plant? I mean, it is just really beautiful. I'm going to actually come through here and clean some of these suckers off. So like this one, I'm going to pull it off, and I'm going to go and root it out and then plant it somewhere else. This is that petunia I stuck in here. We had one lone petunia after we put together an arrangement, and I stuck it in here, and it's looking really pretty. I love the way it's popped out over on this side. This side of the coleus had a little hole, like it was just a little lopsided the way it was. So I stuck this one in here, and I actually really like it. It's like such a really fun little arrangement. I'm pretty happy with that one. And this coleus over here, this is a stained glass variety, and it's looking really beautiful too. I actually think that it needs, we had a cold snap. Again, the weather here is a little unpredictable, but we had a cold snap, and that kind of made like a 40-degree night, and it hurt some of the leaves on this one, unfortunately. But most of the coleus do okay, but they really like it to be over 50, if at all possible. And these beautiful petunias, they're so gorgeous. The petunias are really, really fun, especially in the springtime here. They're the first things that begin to bloom, and they just kind of herald in the spring. So over at the pond, I have this big coleus basket. It has 3 different varieties. This one is the one that I actually have forgotten the name, but it's super beautiful. This is a velvet variety. It's so soft and so dark red. And then this is like a witch's brew, and it's absolutely, I think this might be my favorite. No, that one over there is my favorite, but this is like a really cool variety too. Our water lily has like effectively doubled in size in about 2 weeks. They love when the weather gets just a little bit warmer. Some of my really cool little steppable plants here are beginning to bloom. So this is a creeping thyme, and it has these beautiful little blue blooms. And as they begin to fill in the spaces between these pavers, they're gonna be really gorgeous. There's another one. There's another one. This is a Persian shield plant that I want to make a planter with, but I haven't gotten that far. Here we go, and this is a chocolate mint plant. Lots of petunia, lots of coleus, making these really fun little places throughout this water garden. This area stays pretty wet, so we want things that will be able to handle it. This was blooming this week. I don't know if I have a picture. I will send that or I'll put it in here too because it was beautiful. It's just a white or iris. Over here, we've planted up the back side of this. We're going to let the grass kind of grow up to it, and that's totally fine. Oh, check it out. See the wood ducks? Oh, man, I missed them. So cute. This little green stalk right here where my finger is, that is a giant elephant ear bulb, and it's going to come up and really take root. The Esmeralda, that will eventually be our background plants for this area on this berm. There, and one back there. This one over here is actually in bloom. Let me take you to it. Check it out, these beautiful trumpet flowers. So gorgeous. Very fragrant. I love the yellow. Those are going to get like 9 feet by 9 feet. So they'll become effectively giant blocks, sun blocks, and wind blocks. So we have lots of celosia, lots of coleus. This is a polka dot plant right here, these little sections. My husband planted this and he had so much fun with it. He's really learning a lot about all of this stuff, and so he's constantly educating me, which I feel like is so fun. So here's some more of that coleus. There's a hosta in the water. It bloomed beautifully. These are the agapanthus. This one needs to be planted still, but they are just beautiful and so unique. I think these might be my favorite thing over here. So pretty. And these are the rest of those petunias that we had planted, and they look so, so gorgeous. But yes, the pond is such a star, such a star. So to end this garden tour, I want to show you guys some of the birds. They're so cute. I actually have this little area too, but the birds really have kind of taken it. I have a pretty mum and some asparagus beans that I'm hoping they will let grow up on this little trellis and fence line. But this is our rooster, and again, they're all wet. But aren't they cute? The turkeys and the roosters and the geese. This is about half of them. Hi, guys. Hey, Edgar. So this is the daddy turkey, and these are the baby turkeys. All the turkeys are his babies. And actually they're kind of cool because they're sex linked, so you can tell the difference in the genders based off of their color. So this is a boy, and these beautiful gray ones, these are our girls. So those super, super cute. And here's another thing, we just moved outside. So we just moved the little guys outside. They're doing good. They have their water and their food, and they're just chilling in the outside coop. They don't need heat lamps anymore. And then over here, this is where we had planted some pumpkins, if you had seen that video. That was just like a couple weeks ago. But check it out, we have pumpkin plants. So right here is a beautiful pumpkin plant. Over here, over there. And then these are the teenage turkeys. I'm super excited to show you guys because I told you in a previous video that we had decided to do meat turkeys. So these are our meat turkeys. All of the boys are. She's probably going to be sold because she's people really like that color. She's lavender. Isn't she gorgeous? So the females get sold, and I'm going to raise up these guys for our holiday dinners. So this is my first go at meat turkeys. We've done pigs, so I'm excited to try the meat birds now. So super excited, but I wanted to show you guys because they're really happy. We built them this little perch in here, and this was just really retrofitted. This is something that was our very first coop we ever built years ago, and we've kept it as like a spare, and it worked out perfectly to house these little turkeys for a while. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I would love that. And stay tuned for more garden updates, more garden tips, and lots of fun. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.